Hello students, we are starting a new series of video lectures in which we will discuss the ways, rules and selection rules for the determination of molecular symbols and electronic spectra on the basis of these molecular symbols. In the very first part of this series, we will study about the recognition of center of inversion in bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbitals. You must have seen we generally wrote sigma g, sigma u, pi u, pi g, how these terms are coming, what are the ways, how we will decide whether we should write u or g with sigma, pi, bonding orbitals as well as anti-bonding molecular orbitals. But before going into the details, first of all, we should know what is center of inversion. Means this is a symmetry element and we have to recognize the center of inversion. Now center of inversion is a point in the molecular structure from where if we extend a line, it meets the similar type of atoms or group of atoms. For example, I am writing here transform of 1,2-dichloroethane. So in this case, this is the point where we have center of inversion. If we extend a line from this point, you can see here on extending this line we are meeting at halogen atoms. We can also extend the line across this point which is meeting the hydrogen atoms. So this molecule is said to have center of inversion, means symmetry element I. So such molecules are called centrosymmetric molecules. Its cis counterpart on the other hand does not have center of inversion, because if we extend a line from this point, on one side we have halogen atom and on other side we have hydrogen atom. So this is not a centrosymmetric molecule, this is non-centrosymmetric molecule. So now it is clear to you what is center of inversion and what are centrosymmetric and non-centrosymmetric molecules. Many diatomic molecules like N2, this is the structure, O2, Cl2, H2, F2, etc. they all contain center of inversion. Means if this is the point from where we can extend a line on both sides, it is meeting the oxygen atoms. Similar is the case for chlorine, similar is the case for hydrogen and for fluorine. So all these molecules, so these are homoatomic diatomic molecule. So homodiatomic molecules are always centrosymmetric. In contrast, if we consider carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, in these molecules there is no center of inversion. So for example, if we consider a point like this is the central point, and if we extend a line from this point, on one side we have oxygen atom and on other side we have carbon atom. So this molecule is not a centrosymmetric. Similarly, this molecule is also not a centrosymmetric. As far as the atomic orbitals are concerned, we know this is s orbital and throughout we have positive charge for its electronic wave function around the nucleus. So this is also centrosymmetric. In case of p orbitals, on one lobe is positively charged, other lobe is negatively charged. So if we pass a line from the center of this orbital, we will not get the similar types of arrangements. So this is also non-centrosymmetric. This molecule is also not having center of inversion. As far as the d orbitals are concerned, this is the shape of d orbitals, plus, plus, minus, minus. So this orbital, if we pass a line from this center, we will get positive charge. We can also extend this line across this negatively charged lobes. So this is also having center of inversion. So this d orbital is also centrosymmetric in nature. As far as the dz square orbital is concerned, this is dz square orbital. We have positively charged lobes and a negatively charged ring. So on passing a line from the center, we will get similar types of arrangements on both the ends of this line. So this orbital, dz square orbital, is also centrosymmetric in nature. So this is the basic information about center of inversion or centrosymmetric molecules or non-centrosymmetric molecules. So all the diatomic molecules which are having same type of atom, means homodiatomic molecules, are always centrosymmetric in nature. Now we will consider the SS type of overlapping. There are two ways of SS type overlapping. Consider the one way. This is the nucleus. The first way is constructive overlap. Constructive overlap. And what we will get? We will get a common cloud, same type of charge distribution, and on extending a line from the center, we will get same type of distribution across this internuclear axis. So this is SS overlap, and this orbital which is formed is called bonding molecular orbital and is having center of inversion, and because it is having center of inversion, we will write, and is symmetric, we will write it as sigma j, because SS overlap always results in the formation of sigma v. So this was the constructive overlap. The destructive overlapping results a type of arrangement which is shown here. So here we have a positive wave functions, positive wave function, negative wave function. This is positive and this is negative. So when we will pass a line from the center, what we will get? We will get different signs across this line. So that's why this will be represented as, this is unsymmetric with respect to the center of inversion. That's why it is written as sigma u. So SS overlap results in the formation of two types of molecular orbital bonding. They are formed by constructive overlap, and destructive overlap, which results in the formation of anti-bonding molecular orbitals. And because their center of inversion is not symmetric, we are having sigma u representation for these orbitals. As far as the p orbitals are concerned, we know that there are two types of sets of p orbitals. Pz orbitals results in the formation of sigma bond. Px and py orbitals, they result in the formation of sidewise overlapping, and hence will lead to the formation of pi orbitals, bonding as well as anti-bonding. So first of all, we will discuss about the pz overlap. So this is the positively charged lobe of one pz orbital. This is negatively charged orbital of second pz orbital. Similarly, if we are considering the constructive overlap, what we will get? We will get a type of arrangement in which now the central cloud is positively charged. So this is represented as sigma g, because we have a symmetric distribution of the charges of the lobes in case of bonding molecular orbital resulted by the constructive overlap of pz orbital. So this is similar to SS overlap, bonding molecular orbital. It is also represented as sigma j. As far as the destructive overlap is concerned, what will happen? Positive, negative, negative, positive. This is pz orbital, this is also pz orbital. Now the destructive overlap will result in the formation of lobes like this, plus, minus, plus, minus. So if we will pass a line through that center of symmetry, we will get different types of distributions. So this is represented as sigma u. This is represented as sigma u. Now why we are considering g and u? We are considering these orbitals coming from a molecule which are having center of inversion. So constructive overlap results in the formation of sigma g orbitals, bonding molecular orbitals, where destructive overlap results in the formation of anti-bonding molecular orbitals, which are now represented as sigma u. As far as the px overlapping is concerned, px orbitals are perpendicular to pz, means they are perpendicular to internuclear axis. So if this is one orbital, one lobe is positively charged and other lobe is negatively charged. It is constructively added into another px orbital. So here we have two px orbitals. The constructive overlap will result in the formation of orbitals which will look like somewhat this. This is the internuclear axis. So this is positively charged, this is negatively charged, this is also negatively charged, and if we will pass a line from this central point, we will get different types of signs across this line. Positive sign on this side, negative sign on this side. We can also extend this line from this way. So this is forming pi orbital which is bonding in nature but is not having same type of distribution across the center of inversion. So this is represented as pi u. So in contrast to s overlap and pp overlap, where bonding molecular orbitals were having G means symmetric arrangement, we now have U symbol with the pi orbital. G stands for symmetric, U stands for unsymmetric. G stands for Girardet and U stands for Ungirardet. Ungirardet means unsymmetrical, Girardet means symmetrical, means equal type of arrangements across the center of inversion. As far as the destructive overlap is concerned, what we will get? Positive, negative, negative, positive. Again this is px orbital, this is px orbital, and destructive overlap will result in the formation of lobes which are somewhat this type: negative, negative, positive, positive. So this is the point from where we can extend the line, and you can see that if we will extend a line from this point, what we will get? We will get same type of charges on both the sides, whether we are extending line from across positively charged or lobes or negatively charged lobes. Now this is becoming symmetric. So the symbol will be pi g, but this orbital is anti-bonding in nature. So we are getting totally different results as compared to PZ type overlapping, where sigma bonding molecular orbitals were Girardet, symmetric with respect to I, and anti-bonding molecular orbitals were unsymmetric with respect to center of inversion. But in case of px, and a similar type of overlapping is observed for p pi overlap. So in this case we will also get the same type of symbols for these molecular bonding and anti-bonding orbitals. Now assignment of these symmetric symbols to some examples is considered now. This is the molecular orbital energy label diagram for O2 molecule, and this is the distribution of the electrons, and this is a very well-known example where we have the arrangement of sigma and pi molecular orbitals. Oxygen atom has electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. The similar configuration is for second oxygen atom. Okay, so this is the molecular orbital energy label diagram. Now I am just writing the electronic configuration. First of all, we have this sigma bonding molecular orbital corresponding to sigma 2s. Then we have sigma anti-bonding molecular orbital corresponding to sigma star 2s. Then I have sigma 2pz orbital. These were for s. This was for s. This is for pz orbital. Then we have a pi set of orbitals which is having total 4 electrons involving pi to px and pi to py, and after that I have pi anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So as we have studied right now, sigma bonding molecular orbitals have been assigned as a sign G, means they are symmetric with respect to center of inversion. Anti-bonding molecular orbitals are assigned sign U because they are unsymmetric with respect to center of inversion. The sigma bonding molecular orbital formed from pz orbitals is also symmetric with respect to center of inversion I, whereas pi bonding molecular orbitals which were formed by the sidewise overlapping of either px orbitals or py orbitals, they were having uneven distribution, unequal distribution. So that's why they will be represented as U, means unsymmetric with respect to center of inversion, whereas pi anti-bonding molecular orbitals, they were symmetric with respect to center of inversion. So this is the way of arrangements. So these were bonding molecular orbitals, this was anti-bonding molecular orbitals, again bonding molecular orbital pi, and anti-bonding molecular orbital pi star j. So sigma bonding molecular orbitals, they will be assigned symbol G, and pi molecular orbitals which are bonding in nature, they will be assigned sign U. In case anti-bonding sigma molecular orbitals, the sign will be U, means they will be unsymmetric with respect to center of inversion, and anti-bonding pi star molecular orbit, they will be assigned sign G, because they are symmetric with respect to center of inversion. So this is the example of nitrogen molecule. In this case, we can also write the configuration. So what will be the symmetry symbol for this one? This will be represented as sigma G. For sigma star 2s, this will be sigma U. For pi set of orbitals, we will have pi U, and for sigma 2pz orbital, the symmetry symbol will be pi sigma G. And for anti-bonding molecular orbitals belonging to pi star orbitals, the symmetry symbol will be pi G, and for sigma star 2pz orbital, it will be sigma U. So these are the ways of arrangement or marking the symmetry symbols for molecular orbital orbitals obtained by SS PP type of overlapping. So to conclude, if we have SS overlap, the bonding molecular orbital will be given sign G, and anti-bonding molecular orbital will be given sign U. For PZ overlap, again bonding molecular orbital will be given sign G, and anti-bonding will be given sign U. For PX type of bonding or type of overlapping, if we are having bonding molecular orbitals, the sign will be U, and G will be for anti-bonding molecular orbital. Similarly, for PY type of overlapping, they are having same signs as that of PX type overlap. So this is the conclusion which we are getting here. So this is the way how we can represent the G and U symbols for bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Thank you.